Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Sagittarius March 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is Mars will be in Taurus, so the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. This could be about a lot of persistent plotting, deliberate, even ponderous energy in the daily routine in one's health life, such as if the person is working out vigorously or doing something else health or exercise related. It could be also where you might become angry over very sustained, protracted provocation from people. It could be an aunt or uncle, people prominent in your daily routine, your health life. It could be your place of employment. The situation with those people may be more contentious and acrimonious than usual. This could be a time, too, if you're unattached Sagittarius, that you might get to have a sexual liaison or interlude with a Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or one that embodies Taurus-like characteristics that might be at your place of employment, prominent in your health life. It could be somebody that maybe could be in your daily routine. It could be somebody that maybe you have provided a service to, or vice versa. Now, also, too, this could be a lot of stubborn, obstinate battles with 6th house people at this time, such as an aunt, an uncle, a person you may render service to, someone prominent in your daily routine. Could also be where at this time, too, I mean, it could be about getting really persistent, stubborn headaches at this time. And especially, I mean, if you're getting this, at this time, if this is making, at the time when it makes an inconjunct, say, to your actual ascendant, if it's doing so to your ascendant in your natal chart, that could increase the propensity for that. And also, too, I mean, it could be, there's also a danger, too, with this energy that since we're talking about Mars and Taurus and the 6th house of health, well, hygiene, as well, that you could a little greater propensity toward cuts, perhaps to the throat or neck. It could be through shaving, or if there's anything else hygienic that might lead to something like that, or even in your work life, if you're dealing with some sharp instruments, be very careful at this time. So anyway, next thing up, Jupiter will still be in Sagittarius, so the 1st house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, well, so I've talked about previously, Jupiter, of course, is very benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. Now, in some cases, this could be, it could expand the waistline. It could be very paradoxical. Again, very benign, benevolent, but could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. It could give a propensity to gain weight at this time. It could also expand Sagittarius qualities, and the good and the bad. I mean, the good, such as the jocularity, being more jovial, even more optimistic and expansive and exuberant, but at the same time, it could even increase perhaps foolhardy energy, overly blunt and tactless energy, self-righteous energy, as well. And at this time, too, this could be very auspicious for Sagittarius new beginnings. It could be something connected with sports or the outdoors, athletics, something with publishing, philosophy, religion, advertising, doing something with horses, working in stables, anything that could be Sagittarius related. And also, too, this could also be very positive for perhaps connecting again if you're been detached for some time with a Sagittarius, perhaps Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person you knew from your early childhood, and also making a good first impression. It could be very fortuitous for that. I mean, you know, with Sagittarius qualities, and maybe showing for example, a prospective employer coming across as that incorrigible optimist and that perpetual learner, someone that always wants to expand their knowledge, perhaps. And also, this could be a lot of hope and optimism through philosophy and religion, perhaps, and it might be connected with a new beginning, and also even increased vitality and stamina at this time as well. So anyway, next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, well, you may experience, continue to experience, if you are, restrictions and limitations on a monetary level. It could be even in some cases a depleted self-esteem and self-worth, and a lot of this of course could be dependent, predicated on aspects. This makes the points in your chart. Say if this is making an adverse aspect to your natal Venus, this might even increase that, really accentuate that to some degree. Now could also be where you might be taking care of maybe somebody that is sickly or debilitated, a person that may be in your place where you generate income. And it may be something that might be Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, or the joints, and it might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy. Now, also too, this could be also about taking responsibility to issues with self-esteem, self-worth, and even your income, your possessions, and your resources. The father or even older people in general might figure more prominently in your finances, in your monetary situation at this point in time. And also too, this could be something where, again, where you might be making, perhaps this could be about making money, doing something that could be like Saturn, Capricorn related. It could be something with the government or politics or information technology, something dentistry, something that could be Saturn related, Saturn and Capricorn related at this time. And also about really where you might be working very laboriously and a lot of consistent regimented energy in terms of making money at this time and doing things to accumulate your possessions and resources at this time. So anyway, next thing up, Uranus will be in Aries as far as March goes, from the 1st until the 6th. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, one way this may manifest, this could be about dealing with rather acrimonious and unpredictable behavior, perhaps from children or someone you might be in a romantic relationship with. It could be people that you share some kind of hobby or creative endeavor with. Also, too, this could be a time, too, where Aries friendships might figure actually prominently in matters of investments and speculation. Your fun, your amusement, your hobbies at this time, matters with children, and even perhaps in your romantic life, whether they're giving you advice or what have you, or trying to set you up with somebody. Now, it also could be a time too. Looking at this as well, another way this could manifest is that you're really things in your romantic life, matters with children, might be a little bit more erratic and sporadic at this time. You might find yourself doing something Uranus-like that could be something that is very enjoyable, or some kind of hobby, or something that might you consider very fun at this time. It could be something Uranus-like, such as astrology or aerospace, astronomy, even innovation, computers, electronics, and this might be done approaching these things with a lot of that Aries, like assertive and aggressive energy. And you might be attracted to unusual hobbies at this time. I mean, I don't know if you're going to go around on a unicycle with a board on your head or anything, or play tiddlywinks underwater, but there might be something that might be rather unusual, or something that maybe not a lot of people do. It could be something like bungee cord jumping, or something that could be a little bit, or anything that might be unorthodox or unusual, you might be connected to at this time in terms of something that you would do that is enjoyable. And also, it might be where your personal popularity, it can matters with that might go through some fluctuation, and that could even be very erratic and sporadic at this time. Anyway, next thing up. Uranus will be in Taurus as far as March goes from the 6th until the 31st. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, this could be about, I have Uranus in the 6th house natally, and this is something where I've talked about this in other videos that, I have irrevocable nerve damage to my arms and the hands, and Uranus could be connected with the nerves and electricity. I've had shock sensations like in my arms, and this is a time if you're dealing, if you're doing something, or you're Sagittarius, many Sagittarius people are athletic and into sports, if you're working out vigorously, or even if you're doing anything that's very repetitive at this time, be very careful. Because you're doing any kind of heavy strenuous lifting, be very careful, because you could be more susceptible to even stubborn nerve kind of damage at this time. And it's something, and also too, this could be a time too where your schedule, there might be something erratic and sporadic with it. It might be hard to get on a consistent daily schedule where everything's the same day to day. It could be also manifest in some kind of unusual or unorthodox hygiene, or things connected with hygiene, such as using alcohol swabs or something instead of actually clean. Well, that might be a little distortion, exaggeration, but you understand what I'm saying. This could be something else too. This could also manifest in Taurus friendships. They could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurus-like characteristics that might figure more prominently in your daily routine, your place of your employment perhaps. It could be matters connected with health and your hygiene, and even service that might be rendered at this time as well. And you might be experiencing more unusual, unpredictable, stubborn, and obstinate behavior, perhaps from an aunt or an uncle. It could be someone prominent in your place of employment. It could be in your daily routine, your health life perhaps. So anyway, and also there could be more propensity for some kind of, again, of electric shock. Uranus is connected with electricity. This could also be, again, maybe, or it could be some health issues with something Uranus, like such as something with the ankles or the shins, perhaps, or maybe even having some kind of enigmatic illness, one that might be a little bit difficult, unusual, might be even difficult to diagnose or understand completely. So those are some ways. And also you might be connected with some kind of Uranus employment situation. It could be something with computers, with electronics, humanitarian work, innovation, astronomy, aerospace, even rocket science. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, next thing up. Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, you might be dealing with some confounding and confusing situations in your home life. Some cases this may manifest in some kind of flooding or gas leak, some kind of inadvertent chemical assimilation in one's home. This could also be about the dissipation or dissolving of your home and family life. It could even be your emotional security in some cases. And also, too, it might be where you're, as far as who you are at the core, it might be somewhat nebulous or unclear at this time. And it might be also about Neptune-like traditions, such as things connected with spirituality or dancing, poetry, anything, or something connected with the imagination, anything, or something with the metaphysical, which could include astrology. Also, too, could also be about, you look at the 4th house, too, is the latter part of life, and it might be a time where you want, where you really want to be able to just maybe about strongly relaxing at this point in time, like a lot of people do, would want at that latter part, end of life period. Um, or maybe doing something, or maybe getting more spirituality in your life at that point in time. Now, also, too, looking at this could be about perhaps even Neptune traditions at this time, or foundations, and Neptune traditions again being connected. It could be something with poetry, with dancing, something with the metaphysical, which can include astrology, and also doing something too, and getting in, as far as the fourth house goes, this could be about your roots as well and your ancestry. And this could be, given you're talking about Neptune energy, that could be a little bit nebulous and unclear at this time, or you might there might be some kind of mystery. There's something you're not really sure, or might be obscure regarding this. But it could also be too where I mean, when I look at this as well, I mean, you're looking at, I mean, the fourth house, and you're talking about Neptune as well. I mean, Neptune could be connected with the sea. It could be a time where maybe you want to go to maybe a home that might be close to the sea at this time. So anyway, last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I'm going to anyway. In some cases, this could actually manifest in a literal or actual death, perhaps of somebody that you may generate income with. This could be too a figurative death of perhaps the way you may generate money. But remember that Pluto is also about transformation. So it could be something where maybe something ends in terms of how you make money, and then perhaps it's replaced with something else. It could also be about the transformation of your values at this time. You might feel in some cases where your self-worth or self-esteem might be destroyed or obliterated, but remember that Pluto energy is about rebirth and regeneration. Doesn't mean it can't be revitalized at some point. It could also be where you might get involved in some kind of Pluto money-making endeavor, such as doing something with insurance, recycling, the occult. It could be supernatural, astrology can be included, something with psychology, or working even in a death profession, such as working as a coroner or a mortician, or some kind of working as a funeral director, perhaps. Guard against becoming overly obsessive and compulsive issues regarding, and fixated issues regarding possessions and money at this time. I mean, a lot of this, of course, could be dependent, predicated on aspects this makes to points in your chart. Say if this makes an adverse aspect to your natal Venus, that could increase the propensity for that, perhaps. And I would think even the second house ruler, if this makes an adverse aspect to the second house ruler, that could be another way where that could accentuate perhaps some kind of compulsive or obsessive issues regarding matters pertaining to your possessions and money at this time. And also, too, given this is about transformation, you might find yourself maybe, this could be about transformation in terms of things that are connected with things that are monetary, such as monetary transactions, like such as maybe if it's possible to go to, like, for example, digital money transfers, going from doing using your credit card mainly, and then going to some other form of transactions. Digital money transfers is something that I've heard about. I don't know how commonplace this is now, but there's something called digital money transfers that I believe it may have been started, and it could be connected with a smartphone. So I'm just throwing that out there kind of arbitrarily as an example, and it doesn't mean that you wouldn't go in another direction, going backwards, instead of using, for example, credit cards predominantly as far as money transactions go, going back to cash in some cases. So one way, I mean, it's very possible you might find some way where you're really transforming the way you are doing financial transactions at this time. So anyway, People, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Sagittarius March 2019 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Capricorn March 2019 horoscope forecast part 1 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.